Hello everyone and welcome back to Mentos Play Spelunky. We are going to jump into the August 8th daily challenge right now. So, I didn't record the daily challenge for a few days. Let's play as Meat Boy. He's what I've been playing as lately. But yeah, I haven't recorded daily for a few days. Yesterday was really disappointing. The run was going phenomenally. I had the Kapala, I had the jetpack, I had climbing gloves, which is a combination I love to have. I had several other items that were all pretty good. I had a decent amount of bombs. I walk into the black market. I was planning on robbing it, but I wanted to case the joint, so to speak, to figure out where I needed to go to make sure I got everything I wanted, or if it was worth robbing, or if I should just pay for the Ankh because there wasn't enough items in there to get. And while I'm trying to figure this out, somewhere down below, a explosive frog went off and angered the shopkeepers, or maybe it was a snail. I'm not really sure what, because quite frankly I did not even see it because it was well below the level I was currently on. But whatever it was, something angered the shopkeepers before I was really prepared at all for it, and that resulted in me, actually not really I meant to do that, but you know what I mean. But yes, that kind of resulted in me having a very unceremonious death on the black market, because I was standing right next to a shopkeeper when they got angered, and he shot me with his shotgun immediately, which apparently is not an uncommon thing for yesterday's daily challenge, as looking through the scores, there were a whole lot of people with scores right around mine that all died on 2-4, so I think we all had kind of the same experience of doing rather well, and then just being shut down. So today's daily will hopefully go better for us. Oh god, that's a bad start. The spider has escaped. Stupid spider. Come on. Come on. Yeah! I actually didn't take any damage fighting that guy either, which is kind of impressive to me. I usually tend to fail at that. So we are going to go our way down this here snake pit, trying to collect as much as we can in terms of gold. And eventually we're going to get our Matic. It seems like our damsel is also right here, so we can pick that up as well. Seems like all the arrow traps have gone off now, which is of course great for us. We can also easily tell which direction we need to go from here to get to the exit. Hopefully that bomb was placed well enough. It was. We'll get this extra ruby that popped out of there. I am going to grab that gold and then dig our way through up here where it's only 2 strikes. So I do want to get that crate, and I do kind of want to explore upwards a bit in terms of looking for any kind of sign of the Ujedi or anything, which will of course be important to us if we're planning on trying to go to hell. And more damage, which is of course not something I was interested in. Let's just go ahead and pop that open, grab this gold, and head on, because I don't see any sign of anything. I probably didn't look through one level, but I didn't feel like wasting another rope. Okay, so today is going kind of similarly. Let's get the jetpack, let's get that. We can't afford the climbing gloves right now. Too bad they aren't super important when you have the jetpack. I still like to have them, but all things considered, I would rather have the jetpack and more bombs than I would want to have the jetpack and the climbing gloves. There is a snake pit over here. I love these levels where you get multiple I love these runs where you get multiple snake pits. And since we have the Matic up there, we can easily get our way back in there. But we are going to kind of explore the level a bit before we do. Make sure that we are ready to go. It didn't quite work out. Let's try this again. Close. Oh. That was exactly what I was trying to prevent from happening with the torch. Nothing up here except for 1 bar of gold. So we're going to come out 1 health behind, but I guess it's not a huge amount. We want to fly back up here, get our Matic. I just barely bumped against the edge of that rock, and it knocked me to my doom. So that didn't go very well. It was a good run, but I did not realize I bumped against that rock, and I thought that I was going to be out of the way. Let's change things up. Let's play as Abraham Lincoln here. It's one of those things that's kind of hard to tell on a dark level, unfortunately. One of the things I really dislike about the dark levels is, especially when you're trying to fly around with a jetpack like that, there are instances where you just kind of hit against something without really realizing it, and it ends up costing you your life. So hopefully this run will go better. The less dark levels we have, the better. Let's see now. Looks like our... Really? You know what? That was a bad start. We're going to try real quick to do a speed run. I should have hit X for quick restart, but oh well. So one of the achievements in Spelunky that I don't have yet is based around getting through the entirety of the game except for Hell within 8 minutes or less. So that is not something that is exactly easy to do. I need to waste the rope here. That is not something that is easy to do, but it's something that I think is within my ability. I have made it to the 3rd level of the temple before, with plenty of time to spare for the Olmec fight. But it's definitely something very difficult, because you don't really have time to stop and search for gold, or try to get items from shops, or look for crates or anything. So it is definitely much more challenging than your standard Spelunky run. Probably a little bit easier than the other big challenge in terms of the achievements, which is to complete a run without collecting a single bit of gold, which is more difficult for the simple fact that you have to actively avoid something you've trained yourself to pick up. So for some reason that... Oh, and I still got hit. Whoops, this could be it right here. Yep. That's the other problem with the speedruns, is the fact that you don't really take the time to find damsels or to get stuff to set off arrow traps. So if you make a mistake, it's going to cost you unequivocally. Whereas, in a normal run, you kind of have a better ability to come back from that. But at the same time, it is definitely something that is worth giving a shot to. It's not impossible. In fact, someone beat Hell within 7 minutes just recently, which is absolutely ridiculous, quite honestly. I'm not sure how they managed to pull that one off. Compass is definitely worth the purchase. Speedruns, having the ability to tell where the exit is, especially on the ice caves, is immensely valuable. Obviously you do have a little bit of time to go around. I don't need to necessarily skip over everything. But it's just, you want to save as much time as you can for that Olmec fight, because depending on how many bombs you have at the time, you may not be able to take them out all that quickly. And down here, I could go for that crate, but it's going to take too long, so off we go. Could have probably bought some bombs, would have been a smart idea, but I did not think of, or I didn't really notice the shop until afterwards, I should say. So we are going to go down here. I would also like to point out, yesterday, I was lucky enough, I was on Twitter in the morning, and I heard Red Panda Gamer, who is another YouTuber, he was mentioning that there was going to be a showing of a game called Johann Sebastian Joust in downtown Chicago last night. So after kind of being on the fence about whether it was worth the trip to the city, because quite frankly Chicago can be a scary place at times. We have, tons and tons of people killed in gun violence every day. So, it's kind of a little bit scary to go down there in the middle of the night. But I ended up deciding to go down there, despite being a bit late because of the train schedule and the amount I had to walk to get from the train station to the event. It was a very fun time. It's an awesome game. For those of you who don't know, it is essentially it's not so much a video game. It's hard to qualify as that because there is no video aspect to the game. But it is it is kind of more of a live action game, in the sense that you are going to be holding on to a PlayStation Move controller, and you are going to be trying to make other people move their controllers too fast past the threshold that's allowed, so that they are eliminated. The threshold changes with the music tempo, so when the tempo is fast, it is allowable to move yourself a bit faster. when the music tempo is slower, you have to move slower. Um, all set to Johann Sebastian Bach music, hence the name. And it's a very interesting game to play, especially to kind of try to look at the way it's played and the mindset involved. In a lot of ways, it's kind of reminiscent of a fighting game to me in terms of the thought process you have to have while playing it. Oh, just 100 short. That wasted some time. I should have just grabbed this on the way up. Or 1,000 short. Oh! Wasting time on this level, but it's worth it to get the climbing gloves because those will help a lot later on. Granted, some people will say that you should never get the climbing gloves in a speedrun because they cling on to things and slow you down, but on the ice caves they're immensely helpful. But yeah, so I kind of noticed while we were playing and I was watching people play this game that a lot of the way that you have to play it is kind of along the lines of how you would play a fighting game in terms of actual video game style games. And what I mean by that is when the music is slower, it's the downtime of the match where, you know, you're all playing defensively. You're still trying to hit each other and, you know, get the other players eliminated. But as a whole, you're playing much more slowly and well thought out. Then when you have the music going faster, it's more of the attack phase, you know, when everyone is all loaded up and ready to go. And you are just kind of all out attacking any chance you get. And it's a really interesting mechanic to see play out with people in real life. I mean, obviously you aren't actually, you know, trying to hit each other. You're trying to just make them move the controller too quick, which can be done in any number of ways. You know, some people would try to do it by actually hitting the controller. Some would, like, swipe at the controller to try to make people reactionarily swipe away. Move it away real quick to jostle it. Some people would try to go after, you know, just a little push on the person to make them slide back quicker. Whatever the case may be, there was a lot of different strategies that people were trying throughout the short time that I saw the game in play. Similarly, one guy tried to put the controller on the ground, trying to see if his increased mobility from not holding the controller and having to worry about that would help him to survive longer. I know I'm wasting time here, and this is a speedrun, so it's not smart, but I need this dog. Well, I don't need it, but I should get it. And we're gonna get this idol just because we can. And if we come across a shop, we'll be able to for sure afford anything we need. But yeah, so people were definitely having very different strategies for the game. The person who put it on the ground was eliminated pretty quick by someone who just kind of reached over with their foot and knocked the controller. Shotgun is worth the time it's going to take as well. Hopefully we can get a cape here if we find a vampire. And no vampires. And skeleton almost got to me though. So yeah, it is it's, I believe from what he was saying, I think it's part of kind of a combo of games called Sports Friends that is in development, mainly focused on PS3 development right now. Although they are planning on bringing it to the computer as well. And it's something that I don't know the other game in the combo. Honestly, I didn't remember to ask what that one was like. But in terms of Johann Sebastian Joust, it's definitely something that if you have some people over for a party or anything, you would have a ton of fun playing this game, just messing around trying to see who can survive longest. So it's definitely something I would keep an eye on if you enjoy those kind of less video gamey but more real life experience games that, you know, used to be a common thing. But yeah, it's something that I think is well worth keeping an eye on because it's going to be something really, really good for people who have friends over and want to just have something to mess around with. Oh, god damn it. We were doing so well too. Okay, well, now we're going to go back to normal runs. Well, yeah, there's my kind of diatribe on the game that I played last night. Red Panda Gamer, as I mentioned, is another YouTuber. He's the one who mentioned, and he was also there, and he had a camera that he was recording the goings-on with. As well as after the main event was over, him and the developer and some people went around to some of the other places in Chicago and played around in there. So there will be that video going up once he's got it all edited and ready to go. At which point I will be linking that on Twitter, or if you talk to me elsewhere and want me to link it there, just let me know. And then you can see us actually playing the game. But that bat really hit me. I was swinging my whip when he walked up to me. Or flew up to me, I guess. But yeah, so we were so he was recording it, so there will be a video of the actual gameplay that you guys can check out once that goes up, which I will be more than happy to link. Of course, I tend to be a quiet person in real life, so I tended to kind of just shy away from actually talking to the developer or to Red Panda Gamer, which is unfortunate because I actually look forward to talking to both of them when I was going there, but I guess no matter how much YouTube commentary I do, it doesn't change how quiet I am in person. So that's, unfortunate, but it happens. Can't be too upset about it, I guess. This is gonna hurt. Yep. Also hurt the doggy, actually. I'm sorry, doggy. Oh, come on. I hate arrow traps that are off the screen until you get there. Okay, I have no idea where this key is. So I guess use the rope to get up here. So let us see in this area where I already was. It'll let us get back up over this way. We're probably going to use all our ropes looking for this key, which is unfortunate. Where are you? It's got to be up this way then. Yeah, there it is. And unfortunately, because I have no ropes left now, I need to use a bomb right there to get to it. But at least we're going to get to it. That's a plus. So yeah, if you didn't know me in real life, yeah, I'm actually very quiet in person. As much as I am both relatively decent at keeping myself talking on commentary and getting better at such a thing, it's definitely nowhere near completely transferred over to my real life conversation skills. I'm still very nervous about talking to people in general, which is rather unfortunate, but I'm kind of used to it by this point in my life. So I will not be too upset by it. We've only got one bomb, but we really have to use it to get to this crate because we're low on all our resources. And it's a boomerang. It doesn't help us out at all. Great. Now I feel like I wasted that last bomb. But there are more bombs for sale here, so happy days. We'll get 2 bomb boxes as soon as we get another 200 gold. Oh my god, really? You're not going to let me get another 200 gold? Oh. Spelunky, you're a dick. You are a grade A asshole. That was real close. I love how accurate the boomerang is coming back to you is. As long as it doesn't actually get blocked by a wall, it'll pretty much come back to you no matter what. We can't get that damsel because we still have no ropes, and I don't want to waste a bomb to get to him, so moving on. So, in terms of Spelunky, this run is going, I guess, decently. We have taken some stupid damage, but not that bad as a whole. We want to grab this little mouse, because that will allow us to get this crate up here, which is more bombs. That's good, but I'm kind of hoping for some ropes right now, honestly. I know I'll be the first one to say that having a lot of ropes isn't as good as having a lot of bombs, but having no ropes is much worse than having a medium amount of bombs, if that makes sense. Of course, we're going to get more bombs in here, or we can if we get the gold. Just die already, bat. I could get that mystery box, which is, of course, always tempting. I also haven't shown off getting the eggplant, even though I can't use it like it's supposed to be used, which was only recently figured out because it's so difficult to get a situation where you can use it. Especially if you try to go the way of using the hired help to get it, to King Yama. Then it's just borderline impossible, because hired help tends to get you killed more often than anything. Oh, I was hoping that would happen. Well, the spider, I can't get up here. So onward we go with 16,500 gold. We are in the jungle. I won't be too afraid to go to the castle anymore, now that I know that the black market is accessible from it, which we learned yesterday. So that is a load off my back, not having to worry about either showing that area off at a given point or missing the black market. I am missing the black market or not showing it off. Compass isn't a bad thing. And of course it is halfway to a Kapala, which is the bigger part. I'm very glad I moved off of that little block there. I'm conscious, let me wake up before... Oh, I have spike shoes. Caveman's not going to wake up. Is it over this way? No, it's over this way. Oh, I see it. That was fall damage worthy. I did not think that was going to be the case. Also kind of sucks when there's no way to get down without taking fall damage, unless you have ropes used. I could go down there and get stuff from that shop, but that would just be kind of a waste of effort. You know, I jumped down past that guy when he was facing me, and he didn't react. So I wasn't too concerned about jumping back up, even though, you know, he was turned around when I jumped back up and I waited for that. He just turned back around before I got up all the way. But I really jumped down right in front of him, and he didn't attack me, so I thought I was safe. And then he decided to change his whole game plan there, and be like, oh, you know what, actually, I'm going to attack you this time, because this time it sounds like fun. And as usual, the boomerang guys are my least favorite enemy because of the way that they catch you in a never-ending loop of pain. You know, most of the enemies, I guess Yetis are the other ones who are really big issues with it. But most of the enemies in the game you can kind of get away from before they combo you to death. Once a boomerang guy hits you, unless there's a hole that you fall through, you're just trapped there until you're dead. There's no other option. Like right there, I was pulled toward him by the boomerang, and before I had even reached him, I was dead. Because it had hit me once on the way through and once on the way back. So, I guess it's not as bad as the insta-kills in terms of disappointment, but it's just so frustrating to watch yourself and be like, hey, look, I was doing well on this run, and now this guy's boomerang has trapped me forever, so now I get to die. Like, you have to watch those happen. At least with the insta-kills, by the time you notice it's gonna happen, it's done. With those deaths, it's just like, well, I thought maybe I could survive, but I was wrong. So I guess we'll start one more run here. We're a bit late in the video, so I'm a bit worried about how long this is gonna end up, but we'll buy everything in here. Almost tried to buy the shopkeeper, apparently. Doggy did not land on spikes, that's good. I could try to learn how to, you know, actually not spend all my money and not have to kill the shopkeepers later. But if there's a shop full of good stuff, I would rather buy it and take that chance later over not killing them. A nice sip of some Mountain Dew Baja Blast from Taco Bell. It's my favorite part of going to Taco Bell, honestly, is getting that Baja Blast. I'm really not sure why Mountain Dew doesn't, you know, sell it anywhere but Taco Bell. It seems like it would be a good way to make some extra money having that product on the market everywhere. And I guess it's probably, you know, some kind of exclusivity agreement with Taco Bell, but still, I would love to see it elsewhere. So we do have an altar here. I, of course, want to sacrifice the damsel. Especially having 6 health already, I feel relatively secure. But the problem is finding the damsel, and of course it is a friggin' kissing booth. So in order to have any chance of getting the damsel, we are going to have to steal the damsel from him. That arrow trap had not been set off yet. I forgot about that. So over here we go to set off this arrow trap, which in hindsight we could have just taken the damage from, and we would have been in the same exact position right now. So I guess I am the fool, it's me. Will we even be able to get back to the altar? This is crazy, but I'm going to try it. Nope, didn't work out. Didn't work out at all. So we'll start one more run since I kind of did crazily on that one on purpose. And let's see now. It was a bad place to try to rob the shop, I'm not going to lie. I knew that before I even started robbing the shop, and I knew that there was about a 95% chance I was going to die. But without getting that idol, there wasn't really anything special about that run either, so there was no reason to not go with it. Apparently my keyboard did not want to accept the input of Z, because I said to jump and it did not. Which is of course the one reason why I wish I had a controller for my laptop that I could plug in. All my 360 ones are wired, so even though I got the Play and Charge kit and usually use it as a wired controller to my Xbox, it can't work with Windows. But yeah, so the keyboard just has the problem of it can be limited in how many inputs it can accept at once. And so sometimes if you're trying to move in if you're trying to press a couple buttons and jump, it won't either allow the jump or it just won't hold it. Either of which are obviously big problems. But it's something I've adapted to for the most part. It's just occasionally I have deaths like that where I've told it to jump and it doesn't, and then I'm kind of sad. It's really bad if you're playing a game that uses the mouse and the keyboard with this laptop. It wasn't a problem in my old one, the one I had before I got this one. You could use the trackpad and the keyboard separately. They were treated as completely different things. But on this one, the inputs are kind of connected, I guess you would say. So if you're pressing a button on the keyboard, the touchpad doesn't work. And if you're pressing the touchpad, the keyboard doesn't work. So I think the easiest example I can give of this is the game Transform Ice. That was really stupid of me. But yeah, in Transform Ice, oh god, blow up, yes. When I would be the shaman, where you have to summon items to try to build stuff. Back on my old laptop, it was really easy in the one version of it where you have to kind of like draw a road for people to walk on. But on this one, I can't do it for the life of me, except for extremely slowly. Really? You just had to come alive like that, skeleton? Because I can't actively use the touchpad and the keyboard at the same time. So that's why I've taken, and that's part of the reason why I've taken to, like when I play Paranautical Activity, I plug in my mouse, because it is kind of an inconvenience to do, but it also makes the game playable, and that's a much bigger importance. So hopefully I didn't miss too much up there. I did miss a shop. Damn it! I want that cape, and those spike shoes, and that pitcher's mitt. So up we go. Oh god, and the big spider. Come over here. Come on. Thank you. That was the worst luck I could have possibly had right there. The absolute worst luck I could have had. Holy crap. You know what, we're going to do one last thing this run, which is to jump into the ice caves here. And we're going to see if we can at least have something along the lines of a mothership run. Of course, it's going to be really hard for us to control because we don't have spike shoes. We don't have the compass, so it's going to be hard to navigate. Although I found the exit. I do want to try to get this crate, which is not the easiest thing to do. Pitcher's mitt is real good, actually. And you know what? We will toss. Oh god. I realized that after I planted the bomb and that was just gonna careen itself off the edge. That was disappointing. And I should have known it was gonna happen as soon as I messed up that first bomb, and I did kind of know. It just took me too long to recognize the fact that I knew. Let's toss a bomb down here. And get this crate, which has some more bombs. That's exactly what I was hoping for. So there's the right side of the level. I always want to be looking down on the ice caves. Okay, so our exit is over here. I can't kill this mammoth without spike shoes, so we will just walk on through. So we're going to give this one go in terms of getting to the mothership. If we make it and we do well, okay. If not, then oh well. Of course, there's the big giant Ozymandias head that we would kill ourselves at if we were trying to get to hell. Since we don't have the Ankh, that would not end well for us. I was kind of hoping for some type of maneuvering item. This is going to be kind of risky, but we're going to bounce on these guys' heads until they both turn around. And then bounce down here. And our exit is right down there. We're going to need a rope. We're going to bounce, and exit. Good, good. So now we are on 3-4, which means we can get to the mothership. Hopefully we can get the plasma cannon for the first time. We are going to need to be a little bit careful here. Can we drop down anywhere? Not safely, so we're going to use a rope just so we can safely drop down here. And then we'll start the process of roping our way up the mothership. Oh god! I hate you, UFO. God damn it, how am I supposed to do this? No! There is no way I can get up here. That UFO is perfectly content to just sit there and wait to try to screw me over. Oh, come on! Thank you. We lost almost all our health, so we're gonna die real quick up here. That was horrible. Usually they at least move a little bit up and down to help you out, but that one just wanted no part of my games. That turret almost hurt me. Rope, I guess, up here. So now, of course, the problem with coming here early is that you don't have sticky bombs, so you can't really get to those guys easily, and that happens. One more try. In part because I love the Ice Caves music, and we didn't hear it at all today. There we go. Oh. Raffle. Oh, man. I think that's it for Spelunky today, guys. I think my soul has been broken enough. Thank you guys for watching as always. I hope you enjoyed the episode despite my massive number of ridiculous failures. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time, and take care, everyone.